Hello everyone, my name is Sukma Negara and today I'll be telling you a story called Vanity and Pride. Madame Louise was a pretty girl born into a poor family. She had no expectation and she felt so trapped by her situation that she married a little clerk in a government office. Her tastes were simple because she had never been able to afford any other, but she was, as an IPS thought, she had married beneath her status. For a woman who have no caste and class, their beauty, grace, and charm, serving them for birth or family, she suffered endlessly, feeling herself born of her delicacy and luxury. She suffered from the poorness of her house, from its bare walls, worn chairs, and ugly curtains. "Sweetheart, I have a surprise for you," said Monsieur Louisel. "Really? What is the surprise?" said Madame Louisel. "See for yourself," said Monsieur Louisel. Swiftly, she tears open the envelope and draws out a printed card and reads out. "The minister and Madame and Pomneau request the pleasure of the company of Monsieur and Madame Louisel at the Minister of the evening of Monday, January the 18th. "Isn't it wonderful?" said Monsieur Louisel. "What do you mean? What can I do with it?" said Madame Louisel. She tossed the invitation on the table. "I have nothing suitable to wear to this glamorous occasion," said Madame Louisel. Why? You can't just wear a theater gown. Of course, it's really quite suitable," said Monsieur Louisel. "There must be a way. How much do you think a suitable gown would cost?" "Something very simple, but elegant as well, of course," said Monsieur Louisel. "I'm not too sure, but maybe 400 francs," said Madame Louisel. "I've been saving and I think I've just about 400 francs. You could take it to buy a gown," said Monsieur Louisel. "You make any dress come to life, my dear. How ravishing you look," said Monsieur Louisel. "But I'll be disgraced," said Madame Louisel while pouting and whining. "Disgrace? What can you possibly mean? You'll be the most beautiful woman there," said Monsieur Louisel. "You just don't understand. It's so annoying. I don't have any single piece of jewelry to wear with my gown," said Madame Louisel. "There is one thing, one possibility that you've forgotten," said Monsieur Louisel. "What's that?" said Madame Louisel. "Your old classmate, Madame Jean Forestier. She's really well off. I'm sure she would be willing to lend you somewhat of her jewelry," said Monsieur Louisel. "Huh, of course, I can borrow something from suitable Jean." "Thank you, darling," said Madame Louisel. Madame Louisel was absolutely smashing. She was prettier than any other woman, elegant, graceful, smiling, and wild with joy. Everyone noticed her, and her husband's boss seemed to want every dance with her. "Oh my god! Oh no! No! Oh no! Oh my god! This cannot happen!" said Madame Louisel while looking at the mirror. "What? What is it?" said Monsieur Louisel. "I have lost Madame Forestier's necklace," said Madame Louisel. "It can't be true! It's impossible!" said Monsieur Louisel. They began frantically searching through their coats and clothes and to the floor. "Oh God, help us!" said Madame Louisel. "It must be here somewhere. Necklace just don't evaporate," said Monsieur Louisel. "I shall go back on foot over the entire route to see whether or not I can find it," said Monsieur Louisel. He rushed out. Madame Louisel sinks into a chair, sobbing. After more than an hour, he comes back. "Did you find it? Tell me, did you?" said Madame Louisel. "Did you find it or not?" said Madame Louisel. I'm afraid not," said Monsieur Louisel. Madame Louisel didn't tell Madame Forestier that she lost her necklace, and she chose to replace it. The replacement cost them everything. Madame Louisel came to know the ghastly life of abject poverty. Their previous life seemed downright luxurious compared to what they had now. "Matilda, my love, I've made the last payment on our debt. We have nothing left for ourselves, but at least we are free from the loan of 20,000 francs," said Monsieur Louisel. "Free at last," said Madame Louisel. "Look, isn't that Madame Forestier over there? You have not spoken to her since that day. Go talk to her," said Monsieur Louisel. Hello, good day," said Madame Louisel. "You must have mistaken me for someone else. Excuse me, please," said Madame Festia. John? Don't you recognize me? It's me, Matilda, said Madame Louiselle. Matilda? But it can't be. You look so worn and old, said Madame Festia. No, really, it's me. I've changed because I've had to endure 10 hard years of manual labor, scrubbing floors and taking in laundry, said Madame Louiselle. My dear, what could have happened to you? Said Madame Festia. It was your necklace, or rather, my desire to be elegant, that caused this, said Madame Louiselle. But how is that possible? I have the necklace. I wore it to the theater just the other night, said Madame Festia. The necklace you have is actually just a replacement. I'm afraid that I lost yours. We borrowed money to purchase a replacement and have spent the past 10 years paying off the debt. But today, we have made the last payment, said Madame Louiselle. 10 years! Surely it could not have taken that long to pay off the amount needed to replace the necklace, said Madame Festia. What do you mean? Said Madame Louiselle. Mine was fake. Replacements should have not cost you nothing. More than 500 francs. Oh, my poor dear Matilda. And that's the story of Pride. What does it call again? Oh, Vanity and Pride. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, this is me signing off. I'll see you next time.